This building is owned by Pinnacle Realty, a notorious landlord whose name is all too familiar to far too many renters in New York City. Thank you. Tenants like Josie Wells, who we will... who we will hear from shortly, contend with a lack of heat, roaches, and the kind of conditions that no New Yorker should have to live through. This building and 92 others owned by the same landlord are in bankruptcy proceedings. And they are set to be auctioned off to a different landlord, one who ranks number 6 on the worst landlord list in New York City. In those buildings alone, there are more than 5,000 open hazardous violations and 14,000 complaints. This is an untenable situation. So today we are announcing that we will be taking action in the bankruptcy case. Stepping in to represent the interests of the city and the interests of the tenants and say, once and for all, who this government will be fighting for. I have directed my nominee for Corporation Counsel, Steve Banks, to take precedent-setting action in the bankruptcy case on behalf of the renters of this building and of the thousands of other renters across New York in similar situations. We are a creditor and interested party. The city is owed money that Pinnacle never paid. And we will fight for New Yorkers' interest to safe and habitable homes. In doing so, we will protect tenants already long neglected from further neglect. And we will mitigate the significant risk of displacement they currently face. For too long, bad landlords have been allowed to mistreat their tenants with impunity. That ends today. No longer will government turn a blind eye as working-class New Yorkers, many of them in neighborhoods of color, are treated as pawns in a game where landlords never feel the consequences of those kinds of actions. Lastly, but certainly not least, you cannot hold such violations of the law to account unless you have a proven, principled, and tireless fighter at the helm. That is why I am proud today to announce my friend, Sia Weaver. As the director of the newly reinvigorated mayor's office to protect tenants. Sia has a peerless record of standing up for tenants in our city. As the director of Housing Justice for All, she has fought in Albany to deliver pro-tenant legislation, from stronger rent laws to good cause eviction to more affordable housing for all New Yorkers. We are creating the mayor's office to protect tenants, with Sia leading the charge because this work has too long been relegated to an afterthought. We fight hard to win new rights for tenants across the city, only to find that those tenants are never told of those rights. Millions of tenants across this city are eager for a day when their needs are no longer ignored and forgotten by those in power. Today marks that new era for this city, one where we will follow through on the promises we have made and where we stand up for those who have too often been left to stand alone. I want to thank every tenant who is joining us today, and I want to thank Sia Weaver for joining in this work. It is now a great pleasure and an honor of mine to introduce the new Executive Director of the Mayor's Office to Protect Tenants, Sia Weber.
Hi, everybody. Hi. I can't believe we're here. I want to thank Mayor Mamdani. First, it said Mayor-elect Mamdani, but then we got to delete that. For this extraordinary appointment. And I want to thank all the members of the Union of Pinnacle Tenants who came out today, and all the other tenants here in this room who are struggling for self-determination in the face of real uncertainty and fear as these buildings go through bankruptcy. And I am so happy to say with certainty that there's a mayor who is on your side. 7 years ago or more, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, Zohran was not yet in office, but he was thinking about his future, our future, everyone's future, and he asked me what the most ambitious thing a new member of the New York State Assembly could do to protect tenants from price gouging, unsafe living conditions, and from landlords who demand way more than their fair share. And since then, he's stood alongside us with a principled and steadfast vision, and I'm so honored to join this administration and to deliver on the affordability agenda alongside him. The affordability agenda starts with the rent. Too many New Yorkers are worried about the first of the month today. They're worried about paying for costs, even though our conditions are bad and getting worse. A rent freeze in the face of the fact that our living conditions are worsening every single day makes so much sense. New York is a majority tenant town. 70%. We are bus drivers, childcare workers, grocery store staff, teachers, nurses, and we're the people who take care of the shared city that we all live in. Every month on the first of the month, like today, when we pay our rent, we're the ones who are ensuring that the lights come on and our city moves forward. Over the last 15 years, I've worked with many people in this room to build powerful tenant associations, neighborhood organizations, and statewide coalitions with one goal in mind, ensuring that tenants have a collective voice in the day-to-day decisions that impact their lives. And I am really excited to continue that work now in this new role, starting today. It is going to be challenging. New York is home to some of the most valuable real estate in the world, and everything about New York politics is about the fact that our land is really valuable. It's worth a lot of money to too few people, honestly, and we're fighting over it. I know that we can do it. I know that we can build a more equitable and affordable city because nobody loves their neighbors more than tenants love their neighbors. Even if you're kind of annoyed that your neighbor is taking a bath and it's coming into your apartment. The solidarity that I've experienced in a tenant association where people from all different backgrounds come together to fight together against leaks or rats or for safety, affordability, a say in what happens every day is the strongest solidarity I've ever experienced. I've been so blessed to be part of the tenant movement in New York City. It's brought me into rooms I never would have been in otherwise, and I can't wait to keep doing this work with you guys. I know that no one stands up for New Yorkers more than tenants stand up for New Yorkers, and no one stands up for the New Yorkers in this building more than Josie Wells. So thank you, Josie, for opening us up into your home today. It sort of turned it into a zoo. But thank you, and I'm going to pass it to you.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. The other day, I found myself rereading James Baldwin's essay, Fifth Avenue Uptown. It's a piece I've returned to many times, but this time, one passage stopped me cold. Baldwin writes, They patiently browbeat the landlords into fixing the heat, the plaster, the plumbing. This demands prodigious patience, nor is patience usually enough. In trying to make their hovels habitable, they are perpetually throwing good money after bad. Such frustration, so long endured, is driving many strong, admirable men and women whose only crime is color to the very gates of paranoia. He wrote those words 65 years ago in 1960, yet they read as if they were written for this very moment. Today, in many Pinnacle apartments, you'll find dirty walls that haven't seen a fresh coat of paint in years, cabinets hanging precariously in kitchens and bathrooms, cracked plaster zigzags across ceilings and hallways. And disturbingly, these are among the least shocking conditions that tenants endure. These living conditions are not abstract to me. I grew up in this building and have watched it fall into disrepair. In my mother's apartment, a section of the hardwood floor has rotted. Despite repeated complaints to the landlord, that patch of flooring remains crumbly, discolored, and unrepaired. It has been that way for 7 years, long before Pinnacle filed for bankruptcy this spring. Pinnacle gambled on making our housing less affordable and our lives more miserable. Now, having failed, they want to auction off our homes to yet another corporate slumlord. But Pinnacle tenants across the city refuse to accept this cycle of neglect. We banded together to demand safe, stable homes where we can live with dignity. I stand shoulder to shoulder with tenant associations recently formed across more than 50 buildings in Flatbush, Crown Heights, Park Slope, Harlem, Washington Heights, Inwood, Astoria, and Jackson Heights. In that fight, the Union of Pinnacle Tenants learned a thing or two about how to make a ruckus. Lessons passed down by the Crown Heights Tenants Union. The grassroots organizing CHTU began 13 years ago has grown into something far larger than anyone could have imagined. That swelling sound became a symphony, and from it emerged the Union of Pinnacle Tenants. And in this orchestra, I found my voice. And I have learned that when you make noise, or as the late, great civil rights activist John Lewis said, when you get in good trouble, some will dismiss it as just that, but others will lean in and listen. That is why the Union of Pinnacle Tenants is deeply honored that one of the very first acts Mayor Mamdani has taken is to visit a Pinnacle building, stand in solidarity with our fight, and announce the creation of the Mayor's Office to Protect Tenants. Mr. Mayor, thank you for listening. Today, we feel heard. And I'll now pass it back to Mayor Mamdani.
It's about an executive order that you also just announced. You're revoking all executive orders, I understand, that were issued after September 26th, 2024, which was the date of Eric Adams' indictment. I'm wondering, why was that date picked